Same applies for your glaucoma as well. Glaucoma again is a second large cause of blindness worldwide, and it is age, just an age above 40 is a risk factor, and anyone with a family history of glaucoma is another risk factor. Again, we tested it in different tertiary eye care center because that's where we are going to deploy it. And we also tested it across US dataset, and we found our AI model outperforms other imaging mortality or functional mortalities that is happening, that is used to screen for glaucoma. Same thing for the AMD. We tested it, and this is a still ongoing trial. We just got it approved as well. We tested it in a tertiary eye care center in 500 populations, and we got the values, sensitivity, specificity values. Now, the good thing is, today morning, Dr. Chandrasekhar spoke about there is 150 SAMDs got approved in India. Out of that, 40 were developed in India, and we are one of them. We are the first one of them to get approved by CDSE approval in India. All three of our AIs has been approved by our regulatory body, went through a thorough inspections. Our TR AI is also approved in CE marked, and it's also approved in Singapore Health Science Authority. We are now in process of applying this in FDA. Soon we'll bring it out in the US market as well. Now, today's title. What is that all about? Oculomics. Every time I say that word, oculomics, it sounds like a Harry Potter spell to me. Oculomics, right? So, oculomics is a new field where you can see the eye and say what happens in your body. Because eye is very, very unique. This is the only structure in your body where we can see the nerve fibers and microvasculature without cutting open anything. Retina is the place. Just look at the retina. That's the only place in the body where I can see nerve fibers as well as the microvasculature. Nowhere else I can see it. So anything that happens to your nervous system or any microvascular complications can show up, theoretically, can show up in the retina. Now, if you ask an ophthalmologist, ophthalmologists can see a retina and say whether you have a diabetes or hypertension. They don't need an AI. They have been doing this for hundreds of years, right? That you can just see the eye and tell that, okay, you have a microvascular complications, because that shows up there. Now, of course, AI can look at features even minute. We can do slightly more better than that, okay? So we can look at eye picture, can see whether the person have Alzheimer's or dementia. We can say whether they have Parkinson's, whether they have a coronary heart disease, any ischemic conditions, any liver conditions, and also kidney conditions, okay? So this whole field of oculomics, which is highlighted in that green there, is based on your retinal imaging, and based on retinal imaging, can I do any risk classification or detection of your systemic diseases? That's where we are heading into. Now we are building models where whatever the models that we have built so far is for the blindness, right? Diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, macular degenerations, if you don't leave it, if you don't treat them out, if you don't find them out in the early stage, they are going to go blind. But other conditions like cardiovascular disease, chronic kidney disease, preeclampsia, anemia in pregnancies, and chronic liver diseases, all this implications or the seriousness of this is severe, much severe than what we find it in what AI models we have built so far. So we are going in this direction. Now we have proof of model for detecting coronary heart disease by just looking at the eye. We can predict what is the calcium level deposits that happens in your CT angiography by just looking at the retina. Now, CT angiography, as you know, is expensive. You can, instead of that, replace it with a simpler retinal imaging tool. We are not saying that it's a replacement, but it can support at least to predict calcium scores that is deposited in your heart. We are also building proof of concept models to see whether we can predict chronic kidney disease by taking a picture of the eye, right? So, for example, right now, EGFR is the standard method and it is cumbersome. You taking a blood and fluids. Can we, for screening, can we simplify that and take a picture and do all these multiple things in using one test is what we are moving forward. So, to summarize, I have 9 seconds. Oculomics is a field, much evolving, a new field where the clinical value is great. It can be a cost-effective solution for your diagnosis. It can be used for early detection and timely intervention. It can also give you insights about your systemic health, and it is a non-invasive screening tool for you for your systemic wellness. With that, I'll stop my talk. Bang on time.